Well, there we have it. Tractor number, well, whatever for this year. I already lost track. This is what's left of a 1971 HT14. I stumbled across this through a young fellow on the Sears Suburban Backyard Tractor Club group on Facebook. He had went to a junkyard where he had gotten his orange 67 Suburban 10 from, and he pulled the mule drive off of this thing, and so happened to say that, yeah, it came off an SS14. And then I saw in the comments he mentioned hydro, and well, if you guys know me, I love my hydros. Even though I did sell a number of them off like 2 years ago, I've been trying to find more of them. Anyhow, after talking with him for a while, he went back to the junkyard. He picked this thing up for pocket change, as well as a little trailer. And I ended up trading him a mower deck and a set of wheel weights and all the hardware to mount the mower deck for this. And on his tractor, he also had a 68 orange Hydro-Track headlamp bezel on it, and one of my 68 orange hydros has a 67 Suburban 10 headlight bezel. So we ended up trading bezels. I was on the road for just about 7 hours yesterday. I put a decent number of miles on the old coal burner. About just shy of 400 miles I put on the truck. So I went from here and down in Waukesha all the way up to Black River Falls. Went straight up there. And I went from Black River Falls, I shot over to Necedah to pick up another tractor that I'll show you guys in a minute. And then I went from there over to Linden Station, where this truck was originally for sale on Marketplace, and I stopped by the church and took a couple pictures. Then I went from there down to Lake Mills, stopped at a buddy's place, traded John Deere patio hoods, and then finally came home. By the time I got home, it was pretty much dark. That's why I'm getting you guys a video on the next day here. Not to mention, it's like 40 degrees out right now. Snow's melting and it's nice. It's real nice out. But anyhow, originally I was gonna get this as a parts tractor. And yes, it is pretty rough, and well, it needs a lot. But the bones are there. The main reason I was looking for a parts tractor is because I need a rear end for the 4th orange hydro. That one, the pump was kind of weak on it, and I pulled it apart. I can't really find anything wrong with it per se. I'm just going to end up replacing any seals that I can in there and putting it back together, and probably running hydraulic oil instead of ATF, since it's a little thicker. It might help boost the oil pressure if the clearances are a little greater in the pump. So that'll be a little science experiment. If I kill the pump putting hydraulic oil in it, well, it's no good the way it was. But once I got this thing home and I was looking at it a little bit more, honestly today is the first day I've really actually gotten a chance to look at it. The steering is pretty much stuck. The bell crank assembly that's underneath, like right there underneath the tractor, that was froze up pretty bad. So I got the torch out and I heated it up, pulled it out. It's better. I mean, it's still a little stiff. It needs to be greased up real good. I just put a light coating of grease on it just to prevent it from rusting up again, because this tractor is probably going to be sitting for a little while. I have enough other projects that I want to get done. This would be kind of a back burner. I do have some miscellaneous parts here and there, like on the other orange hydro that I'm doing. I'm not using the full-length running boards that the tractor originally had, because it's the other orange hydro. I don't know if I really mentioned it. It's being built on a 69 blue Hydro-Track 12 frame. So I've got the 69 Hydro-Track running boards, and I think this side was in good shape. So I have a running board for it. I have a Suburban 15 grill, but the grill's in nice original paint, so I probably won't use that on this tractor. I'll probably look for another hood and grill, one with the correct hood inserts, and a dashboard and steering wheel. But like the fenders and all that, they might look really bent to hell, but they're fixable. They're not, especially this one. This one's not too bad. The back part just needs to be pulled up. and then it's just a matter of knocking all the dents and creases out of them, and they should be all right. But for now, I think this tractor may donate some parts to get the other ones going, because this thing, like I said, it needs a lot. The bones are there, it's pretty solid. I did notice that on the inside structure on this side of the frame, it's actually cracked. So either which way, the front frame section is going to have to come off of this tractor, and I'm going to have to cut that, or cut the crack out and weld it up. But it's just a shame that I can tell somebody, this was someone's baby. They loved this tractor. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but you can see some of the original paint, the lighter color here, and that's all the repaint that they did. But it's a nice metallic, like custom blue metallic color. Honestly, I actually kind of like the color in a way. If I was to ever do a custom color on a Sears, that would probably be the color, because from a distance it doesn't jump out a ton. But you knowing me knowing me, and this being a 71 HT14, there aren't that many of these out there, being that it was the most expensive tractor Sears had in 1971, and you figure that they didn't offer this the Hydra Track in 72, which is the last year of the Ghost Nose front end. Must have been too expensive, they weren't selling. The only thing I have yet to do, which, well, I suppose we could do that now, is check the serial numbers. So this one is 1513. Another reason why this tractor wants to live. It says ET lives in the back of the seat, so I think she wants to live. I'm going to check the serial number on the restored HT14 that lives up here. And this tractor looked like that one outside. I mean, it was not in that good a shape. We're not going to be able to see over there without a flashlight. Another thing specific to the HT14 is the serial tags being in the back. This one's 2214, so nowhere near close. Well, still only have one pair of sequential tractors around here. Who knows, maybe someday I'll get another pair, or maybe a set of triplets. But so that's that on the HT14. Now the other tractor that I picked up in Necedah, it was a last minute find. I was eating lunch at the Quick Trip gas station up in Black River Falls, and I see this on Marketplace. And I say to myself, you know, I haven't seen one of those at all since I sold that 1970 MTD 1400 I had like 5 years ago. Had a mower deck, and I had a 54-inch snow blade that I found for it. I got lucky with the snow blade because the guy thought it was for an ATV. He wasn't sure what it was for, and luckily it was the right one, and I had it came with all the brackets for the tractor. But anyhow, being that I haven't seen another one since then, and the price was right on this, I went and took a look at it and ended up scooping it up. I was probably going to end up scooping it up regardless, just because you don't see these things that much. You see way more 990s than the 960. Those aren't familiar. 960 is manual lift, 4-speed manual transmission. That's where the number 960 comes from. The model number, well, the MTD model number is 141960 dash whatever, depending on what brand it is. In this case, this is not MTD brand like my other one was. It's a Town & Country, which is manufactured for TSC Industries out of Chicago. No idea if it's what we know of today as Tractor Supply Company or not, because when I looked up TSC Industries, all that comes up is a basically a court case between another company and TSC Industries. It was like a lack of clarification when it came to a merger or something like that. I just realized something. We have the battery hold down for this thing. My other one definitely didn't have that. But this is a 14 horse flavor, just like my other one. Dashboard is busted just like my other one. However, the steering wheel is not melted or broken or cracked. Matter of fact, I actually bought another steering wheel from my other one, and I forgot to give it to the person that ended up buying the tractor. And I could not find it for the longest time, and a couple of months ago I found it, but it's like at this point, guarantee you whatever they had done with that tractor was they either found another steering wheel for it or they already sold it. But this thing supposedly runs. I did not put a battery in it yet. I did notice that the fuel tank on this thing is, you guys aren't gonna be able to see in there, but there's some like a light coat of rust in there. It looked like it had water in there for maybe a month or so. I was told that it leaks gas out of the bottom fuel shut off, so that needs to be dealt with. I need to take that weed whacker spark plug out and put a proper one in there. I mean, the size of my thumb compared to it. Light, little tiny little thing. And another weird thing, which I've never seen before, is the throttle butterfly in this thing is really stiff. Like, you can turn it by hand, but right now it's set at idle. Now if I go all the way up to full throttle, it's still sitting at idle. But like I said, it catches. See, now it moves a little. See how it catches? So the speed on this thing does not run quite right. I think the throttle shaft is bent, being it's just brass. But the plan for this thing is to probably put another set of rear tires on it that match the fronts, because those fronts are Firestones, I think. John Deere and Cub guys. Yeah, they are Firestones. I was saying the John Deere and Cub guys are screaming at me right now for not knowing. But I'd like to put a set of Firestone with the same tread on the back, being that this one does not really hold air, and the other one it holds air, but it's really dry rotted. But the plan is to find a deck for this thing and use it, enjoy it, love it, clean it up. I haven't seen too many town and country tractors before, and it's got nothing to do with the white town and country from the late 60s. That's a completely different tractor. This has an E at the end of town, T-O-W-N-E. And I actually do know of another town and country. It's actually a Gilson tractor. A friend of mine, a college friend, he brought it up, and I remembered I had pictures of it. It's in a junkyard back where we went to college, and it's actually a Gilson tractor, like the Gilson C series, like a C10, C12, C14, and it actually was a 14, and the bolt spacing is right on the frame, so it would have had a 14 horse Briggs in it as well. So the paint color is the exact same, and it had a 14 horse Briggs, but it's an entirely different tractor. Now talk about an oddball brand. So anyhow, that's that. That was my road trip, and this video is long enough. I'm sure you guys are getting bored. So that being said,